What up guys, welcome back to the G-Line channel. Cameron Bloss here. Today I have a bunch of discs that I'm going to be comparing to the DD3. So first, I'm just going to run through these and try to see which disc can give me the max distance on the first throw, okay? So I'm going to run through all these. First off, got a CD3, then I got a DD2, then a DDX, then just a DD swirly, then factory second PD2, two of the most likely newest run S-Line PD2s, a glow PD2, and then a swirl PD2, and then lastly I'm gonna throw the CloudBreaker, try to get as much distance as I can. So after I'm done throwing all the discs together to try to get max distance, I'm gonna be running through the CloudBreaker forehand and backhand through all the different angles, so you can also get a quick taste of that. Let's get into it. So last thing I wanted to mention is if you see the goalpost all the way back there behind me, I measured it with the UDisc app, and that's actually about 420 feet. So like I've mentioned before, I've been playing for about 5 months now, and today I'm going to try to break that 400 feet record, and then hopefully if I do, I'll make another video to help you guys try to get to that distance, because obviously I've put a lot of time and effort into my form and technique. So hopefully the things that I've learned to help me get this far will help you. So let's get into it. So first disc we're going to start out with is the S-Line CD3, 175 grams. All of these discs are actually max weight, so I'll be throwing max weight everything. First throw not bad, right about probably 350, 370. So next we're gonna go with the DD2. The DD2 is 13.5, -2.2, so let's see if I can even get this to fly a little. So pretty surprising, I've actually thrown a 172 C-Line DD2, DD2, and it was so overstable I couldn't even get it to flip up or even ride straight. If I laid it out flat, it would just want to dump left. So pretty surprising on that. Next up we have DDX Glow. Let's go. Not too bad, right about 370 or so. All right, next up we got the DD in swirl plastic, 175, let's go. That's pretty close. Next up we got a glow PD2. Still sitting around there. So next up we got a brand new PD2 S-Line 175. My old pretty pop top. Oh, I put a little too much turn and kind of grip locked that one, but it still glided a whole lot more than what I thought it was. So I'm gonna leave this one, try to leave it a little more flat, but that's probably the furthest one so far. Brand new that was a brand new one too. I've never thrown that one. Oh. Next up we got a factory second PD2. The drone's dying, so I gotta throw it pretty quick. Still a bit short. All right, next up we got a swirl S-Line PD2. That one's pushing it. Last disc we have the CloudBreaker, hoping to crush all of those. But yeah, let's see how it does. Let's see. All right guys, so this is pretty much where I started my throws. I'm on the UDisc app. I'm gonna take you to my farthest flying disc. Hopefully it's the CloudBreaker. I don't know if you can see that, but we're gonna walk all the way over there. So lately I have been working on my form a whole lot, like I keep repeating, but just to kind of inspire some of you guys. But I've only been playing for 5 months, working on my form every day, trying to putt every day whenever I get the opportunity, and just trying to actually get better, you know. A lot of people play and they just play for fun, but I'm super competitive, so I'm never usually just playing just to play. I play to compete, to try to get better every time. CD3 over there, that green, I don't know if you could see that. Got the DD right here in relation to the pole. Any other discs over here? Oh, we got the right at the edge, it's the red PD2. So the CloudBreaker is the furthest. Now setting the end, save. Can you see that? Alright guys, next up the anhyzer. I'm gonna put it on a somewhat bigger ante with a lot more power and see how tough that stability wants to kick in throughout its flight, or is the understability of the disc gonna want to just hold it over? Let's find out. Wow, so that was actually pretty interesting. So I don't know if you guys saw the disc, but I released it pretty tough on an anhyzer, pretty big. Nothing too crazy though. A lot of fairways will have some of that space to be able to work as it did, but it was a lot more effortless than throwing a regular flat kind of turnover with the S curve. It was a lot more easier to just let it fight and go with the wind on the anhyzer and just let it work. So I would honestly recommend that if you have a wider fairway, a lot more room to work with. But that got probably about 350 pretty effortlessly, so it's pretty nice. All right guys, next we're going to be testing out forehand flick shots. So 2 quick tips that I wish I would have known when I first started learning forehand, because it's still pretty darn difficult to get very consistent with your release and release angle. But 2 quick tips that has helped me is, if you're doing the hop, is to keep, I like to keep my run up kind of like at a 90 degrees straight towards where I want to release. So if I want my release point to be straight on, I'm gonna put my left foot or my forward foot like straight on with that line, and then as I kind of crow hop in, my back leg is coming perpendicular to my forward foot. So it just keeps me on this straight kind of forward path as I release. And the big thing that this enables you to do is to move laterally with your forehand release, but always being able to go back to a certain point rather than just kind of hopping wherever and trying to switch up your release point. You can release a lot more forward rather than having to change your angle, if that kind of makes sense. And the second tip that I want to give you is that whatever backhand line that you see in your head, in order to just do the same thing but with the forehand, you have to visualize that same line and same release point as if it were your backhand. So sometimes I would try to do different angles and release points, but if I just mirrored my backhand form to where exactly I would want my line to be forehand, I have to kind of replicate the same movement. So if I'm throwing a backhand and I want it to get 350 plus down for my backhand, what I'm going to do is probably release this flat to maybe somewhat angled towards the right with an overstable disc so it can work back. So what I have to do for forehand is visualize the same thing that I would do as the backhand. If I want this overstable disc to go 350 plus, do the same thing. Release it on flat to somewhat of an ante with some overstable finish type of disc. If you just follow through with the same thing that you did with the backhand and replicate it to the forehand, you should get the same results, okay? So first, we're gonna try to get some big distance with the CloudBreaker using a forehand flat to ante release and try to see if we can get past 300, even 350. Now we got the CloudBreaker. Oh yeah, I'm gone. Get up. Big skip. Oh yeah. So last step, had the CloudBreaker, probably hit about 400 or so. So next step, I'm gonna be doing a hyzer release. So most likely it's gonna wanna flip up to flat, glide for a while, depending on how much flick I put on it. And then definitely wanna, when that stability kicks in, it's gonna dump to the right. Let's see how it goes. Alright guys, that pretty much concludes the review of the CloudBreaker, the DD3. My overall thoughts on it, it's a pretty nice staple in my bag now. I really didn't have too much experience with the Destroyer before, so I didn't really know what to expect with this disc. So totally unbiased to this disc, this mold. I think the flight numbers are pretty spot on as well. So if this is what a Destroyer flies like, then man, I was missing out on a great disc. But yeah, bomber disc, forehand and backhand. If you don't have too much power, this can still be your like bomber slash overstable distance driver. So it definitely has a lot of uses out of just pure distance, but great disc. I am looking for a couple of more, and I have a ton of Discmania molds, so if anybody wants to trade something for one of their CloudBreakers, hit me up on Instagram at Cameron Bloss. Send me a DM if you want to trade one of these, help a brother out, and hope you guys liked the video. If there's anything else you want me to test this with, just let me know. Today it was pretty calm, not too much wind actually, so you got almost the true flight of this disc. But yeah, hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Cameron Bloss. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.